Okay, it's time now for Perspective. The actor Joaquin Phoenix made headlines at this year's Golden Globes by announcing that he'll be wearing the same tuxedo to every awards ceremony this season. We're often told that when it comes to getting dressed, we should buy less and make do and mend. Our guest today is Donna Thomas. Her latest book, titled Fashionopolis, The Price of Fast Fashion and the Future of Clothes, looks at all of these issues. Thank you very much for coming in to talk to us.
Thank you.
Maybe to start with a quick comment about Joaquin Phoenix, his decision to wear the same outfit throughout this entire awards season in Hollywood. It is a nice statement, but will it really make the average man on the street change the way that he dresses or buys clothes?
Well, first of all, he's wearing a Stella McCartney tuxedo, which means it's been sourced with organic or naturally raised wool from New Zealand, where they have happy sheep on farms that aren't industrial farmed. And it's been made sustainably and socially responsibly, meaning that the workers are paid properly. It's not made in a sweatshop in Bangladesh or Vietnam, somewhere in Southeast Asia, but made properly. So he's not just wearing any old suit. He's wearing a good suit that will last him a long time. And I hope that his message is saying something. I love that he's saying this on the red carpet, because for me, the red carpet has brought us this horrible idea that we can't wear things more than once. The whole Instagram influencer idea that, you know, once you have been photographed in it, you can't ever be seen in it again. That descends directly from the red carpet and actresses and actors wearing something one time at the Golden Globes and something else at the Oscars and something else at the BAFTAs, and we never see it again. They're not shopping their closet. The difference between the actors and actresses and us is that they are given the clothes, or they're lent the clothes. We're buying them. And therefore, we have this horrible habit now of, after 7 wears, an average of 7 wears, garments are thrown in the bin. And we can't keep up this cycle where our landfills are heaving with clothes. And so I like that Joaquin is saying, you know what, I love my suit. I'm going to keep wearing my suit. And, you know, you can keep shopping your closet too.
But I've got a question next, which is more of a kind of a chicken or the egg question. Are we as consumers buying too many clothes and too often, or are manufacturers and suppliers and retail outlets giving us too many clothes to wear?
Yes.
Which one is it?
Yes and yes. We're oversupplying and overproducing, to be sure, because of the idea that's been in business practices for a long time of economies of scale, that we produce 100 and we'll sell 80, we'll still make money because it's cheaper to produce 100 than it is to produce 80, and we throw 20 away. At the same time, we're buying too much because clothes have never been cheaper than they are today. In real terms, they're the same price as they were during the 1930s Depression, not, you know, adjusted for inflation, but the same price. And so we're buying 7 to 10 times more clothes than we did even 2 decades ago. We're buying, you know, we go out to the store now and we come back with bags full of clothes instead of 1 or 2 outfits. You walk into a Primark and they give you a shopping cart to pick up things and throw them off the rack into the cart. And if we're treating clothes like that before we even pay for them, throwing them into a shopping cart and they're all balled up and falling off the hangers, that shows our disregard for garments and apparel. But the reason we have this disregard is because there's so much out there and it's so cheap.
But is there a danger to jobs and livelihoods for the thousands of people who work across the globe to support the fast fashion industry?
Again, yes and no. Yes, that there are jobs that are at risk of being lost, but they're really crummy jobs. And those people are working overtime and not paid overtime to overproduce the clothes. What should be done is that they're paid a living wage. 98% of the workers in the apparel industry are not paid a living wage, which means they don't paid enough to house, clothe, and feed their children. They should be paid a living wage and be producing less and working normal, decent hours with benefits. There's no oversight. There's no things like maternity leave and health care in the garment industry offshore. We need to, if we pay more for our clothes, then the workers who make them will have a better life too.
Now, I remember watching the Vogue editor Anna Wintour giving a speech at the Oxford University Student Union a few years ago, and she was making the point that more and more luxury brands are now trying to make their output greener. Is it down to high-end haute couture brands to lead the way?
Well, I should hope so. I mean, if an haute couture or a luxury brand can't be sourcing organic cotton, which is considered a luxury, then who's going to? And Stella McCartney said that. She said we should only be using organic cotton in our clothes because it is seen as a rarity. Only 1% of the cotton produced today is organic. The rest of it's GMO, and some of it is conventional cotton, which means 1 kilo of chemicals to produce 1 kilo of cotton. We need to move away from that. And if multi-billion-dollar corporations like LVMH and like Kering with their brands, Yves Saint Laurent and Gucci and even Chanel and Prada, if they're not pushing us to use better materials that supposedly cost more, and they are premium clothing companies, then when are we going to ever do it?
How long will it take, in your view, before we catch up with the consumer trend for recycling our bottles and our cardboard at home? How long will it take before we start recycling our fashion or doing more to protect how we deal with our wardrobe?
Well, I hope really soon, and that's why I wrote the book. And a lot of people have told me that when they've read the book, they look at their closet differently, and they're thinking more about their clothes in a way they never had. And that is the entire point of writing this book, because we've been casual about our clothes. We don't really have a think about them. We get dressed every morning, but we don't think about them. The food revolution, organic and biodynamic farming, changed the way we look at food, and we go to markets more. There are more farmers markets. There's more small farms. There's more organic. We have Whole Foods now, so we can go to grocery stores and get organic, which 20 years ago was unthinkable. I'm hoping that the fashion industry will catch up, and because there is this template with the food industry, it'll happen quickly, and we'll be able to shop more responsibly.
Just one very quick message to people watching at home. What can we do today to try and change things?
Well, a couple quick things is, before you buy, have a long think about it. You know, if you love something, don't just click and order it and then, what the French call a faux achat, and then you look at it and you're like, big mistake, and you never wear it. And shop your closet, or shop your friends' closets, and trade. My teenager will swap with her friends when she wants to get rid of something. Don't throw your clothes in the bin. They can have an afterlife, and they should.
Okay, Dana Thomas, the author of Fashionopolis, The Price of Fast Fashion and the Future of Clothes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.